The Creation of All, Chapter 14. It's been 2 days since we got away from the shipping facility. Kuiga is recovering from the injuries she took there, yet I can't help but feel upset with her. "What's your problem?" Kuiga asks, noticing that I'm staring at her with a grimace as we walk down a dirt path. This path will take us to a city where we'll have to try to sneak onto a train to get out of Saiten. Those people helped us. They showed us this trail and gave us food, and you stole it all from them. They didn't give me enough food. The more Crivital eats, the faster we recover from our injuries. Doesn't it feel bad that you stole all that food you're eating right now and that you jabbed one of them in the face with your elbow? I'm pretty sure you shattered her nose. Meh. I needed more food. In case you haven't noticed, ever since I met a certain someone, I've been getting injured a lot more than I normally used to. And yet you still hang around, I say with a smile, knowing that she's forming a connection with me, but doesn't want to admit it. If I can get her to care about me, then I'll get her to care about her sister. Uh-huh, though one would think you'd be used to this stuff by now. Harming people, I mean. Those slaves you inspired to be free destroyed that building full of people, not to mention that home you blew up. Well, I'm not, and I'd like to go back and see what I can do for them someday. They'll just beat you up. If it'll make them feel better, then I probably should let them. Do you think I deserve it? Yes. Kuiga quickly says, making me want to change the subject. Once we get back to Lorita, we're going to start looking for members for our revolution. Your revolution. I'll go along with this to get to Riga, but don't put my name on your inevitable train wreck. We should try to track down Bodaka and the others. Normally, that'd be the way to go, but I remembered what Sekiro said about them not taking their revolution seriously enough, and how they were most likely going to turn on us. Also, I feel really guilty about what happened to them, and part of me doesn't want to find out that they died from that monster attack. Honestly, I want to do this myself. This way I won't be bound to anyone else's agenda. We'll take control, free all the humans, shut that operation down, help the branch breeds, stop Saiten from abusing their power, put someone trustworthy in charge, and then I'll go home. And you have no idea who that trustworthy person will be, Kuiga says, but I don't respond as I notice some flying creatures coming towards us. I can't make them out, but they're the size of horses. Great, those are Viskers. They're pack hunters and attack anything they can, Kuiga says with her mouth full before breaking out in a sprint, and I follow her. The creatures start swooping down on us, and I can see they're creepy looking. Their wings are bird-like, but they have long, thick necks with human or Crivital-like faces. Their legs are also like fuzzy arms, with just 4 fingers and no thumbs. At least the fuzz is bright and colorful, and looks nice. They're punching me in the back of the head as they swoop down. One of them is holding a large rock in both hands, and it hits Kuiga in the back of the head with it. She tumbles off the path and down the hill, dropping the rest of the food she was holding. I follow her down the hill, swinging a sword made of Korkan from one of my hands, knocking as many of them away as I can. Kuiga stabs the side of the hill with her tail to help get her back on her feet, and we both keep running now, getting farther from the trail. The Viskers are now throwing smaller rocks at us. There have to be a couple hundred around us. I raise an arm and launch a strand of Korkan into the air, whipping it around to fend the Viskers off. After a few minutes of running, we manage to get away from our attackers. We must have left their hunting territory. Well, there is good news and bad news, Kuiga says, stopping at a wall of trees. They're over 20 feet tall, have branches only at the top, but have no leaves. There are small gaps between the trunks, and an ominous dark green mist is flowing out from beyond them, covering the sky and making the scenery look even more gloomy. These types of trees repel all animals as a means to protect themselves. That's how we got away from the Viskers. But this is a haunted forest, and since I don't want to go back and deal with Viskers, we might as well go through it. It'll be simpler. Haunted? Oh, that's right. Ghosts exist on Mextra. I learned that from that whole Escablan incident. I still need to find someone who will care enough to look into that. Not literally. That's just the name people gave it. The mist comes from the trees beyond the tall ones that border the forest. The mist will get into your brain and make you see visions that'll mess with you. People have gotten lost in places like this until they've gone mad and died. At least those are the rumors I've heard. Why don't they just destroy it then? Most have been, but this one isn't in any place of importance enough to bother. I think that's the reason. Kuiga explains, and I walk up and put a hand on one of the trees. It feels like a rock. Hey, is your head okay? I ask her since she took a rock to the head. She rubs the spot that got hit before looking at her hand. Just a little blood. I'm fine. Do you want to take a break before we go in there? Nah, I wanted to get to the city before dark. We don't have any money for food or hotel when we get there. We can steal more food and find places safe enough to sleep on the streets. Sneaking in will be the hardest part. As for this place, we may attack each other if we go through together, so I'll enter through here and you down there. Kuiga points off in the distance, and I turn to head that way. I should have said goodbye or good luck to her. Only now that I'm about to go in does the danger start to dawn on me. What kind of visions will I see? Will we get stuck in here forever? I look back at Kuiga, who is halfway through the gap between the trees. It's probably not as bad as she says. Good luck! I shout to her, but she doesn't respond. I squeeze in between the two trunks, getting into the forest. At least the trees in here are spaced apart enough to easily walk through, and they all have dark green leaves that are giving off that mist. After a couple of steps, the fog becomes so thick that I walk right into a tree, smashing my nose against it. I stand there with a hand on the tree and another on my nose. Opening my eyes, I can see Trent standing right in front of me. Tall, short black hair, wide gray eyes, short, pointy nose, onset cragginess in his face from all the smoking he started after we got our business off the ground. He smoked so much. Said it helped him with the stress. He's wearing that cheap gray suit he wore to the office every day for the first 5 months after we started working on our own business together. Hey, what are you doing here? I need you to testify for me in court. Remember how I laundered that money? I needed you to be there for me and the company. We've always been there for each other. So this is what Kuiga was talking about. The person standing in front of me seems so real, but he must just be a hallucination. I find myself talking back to it, whether as a means of comfort or to vent my frustration at him. You screwed up, Trent! You lied to me! You used me! You were taking dirty money and hiding it from me! I shout back at the Phantom, knowing he's not there, but this still feels cathartic. I know, but Jake is my brother, and he needed help. Besides, when he showed me how much money he had hidden around town, I couldn't resist. If you weren't always so scared of taking a chance, I would have let you in on it. Hearing him say that sets me off. Jake and his friends were in a gang and sold drugs, and right before the police came for us, the news said they sold kidnapped women and children. You put that money through the company. You helped them do those things. Hey, now, you know I had nothing to do with that money, just the drug money. I was never on board with their whole trafficking side. You knew they did that, and you did nothing about it. We've been friends since childhood, yet I never knew the real you. You wanted me to cross a violent gang? All I could have done was get myself killed. Besides, they only did that 4 times that I know of. People were impressed by us and what we accomplished, and you ruined all of it. I started that business with the money I saved since I was 12, and you used my hard work to get rich behind my back, off of people's suffering. And now with both of us here, our company must be dead by now. I just want to see him express some remorse for what he did. Oh, come on. How can you be mad at the friend who covered for you? You're not going to bring that up. It was years ago. I was just a kid. You can't go bringing up stuff from that far back. What is he doing? Trent's never brought this up before. At least not like this. We met in the 2nd grade. We were just classmates at first, but during recess one day I saw you. You stole Mr. Persusco's wallet from his desk and hid it in your backpack. I don't respond. I hate that memory. I was so stupid. You thought everyone left for recess, but I noticed you hanging back. I looked through the door and saw you. Then near the end of recess, I was inside using the bathroom. The door to the classroom was open and I saw Mr. Persusco looking for the wallet. It was obvious the teacher would search everyone's bags. With them hanging on the wall just outside the classroom, I quickly took the wallet from yours and put it in someone else's backpack. When Mr. Persusco found it in that bag, it was that kid who got in trouble. He got suspended, and none of the other kids went anywhere near him. They kept calling him a thief and made fun of him. It dogged him for the rest of his childhood. Just then, the image of this memory appears from the fog, taking form, and I see the event starting to replay before me, and I close my eyes and look away. I don't want to see it. You just stood there and kept your mouth closed while that kid, whose name you never bothered to find out... Shut up, I say, cutting off this memory that's been brought out of my head. You sure were happy to go on living your life. You were so grateful to me that we became friends after it, and stuck together ever since. I said shut up! Stop it! I shout at him, demanding his silence. Unlike you, I did find out that kid's name, and what became of him. His parents were so disappointed and ashamed, they kept bringing it up to him for years, constantly reminding him of it until... Stop it! I shout, swinging my arm at Trent, and he vanishes back into the mist. I may have ruined a company, but you ruined a life. He grew up and just disappeared someday. His name was... With that, his voice fades. I stayed quiet because I didn't want to get in trouble. I was just a dumb kid. Did I ruin a life? I never looked into what happened to that kid. At first, I didn't care, but later I became too ashamed and soon put it in the past. I continue walking through the forest, staring at the ground, not paying close attention to what direction I'm walking in. I bump my shoulders against a few trees, keep walking, but soon stop once I hear her voice. So this is where you've been. I turn around to see Sin standing there, my girlfriend. I've always loved how her personality can go from deadpan to bubbly, how she always kept in shape, and her pretty face. She has fierce amber eyes but a gentle smile. Her skin is smooth without a single freckle or blemish. Her full long red hair reaches her shoulders. She always leaves her hair down around me. She knows I like it. She's even wearing that black dress with the orange frills she wore to that Halloween party, along with the combat boots. Well, aren't you going to say something? You've been gone for years. I've already gone through 6 different guys. Even though she sounds serious, I can always tell when she's kidding. All right, come on. It's even less likely that you would be here. You're not real, and I have no idea how long I've been here, or if time even passes at the same rate. Thinking about how time passes here and on Earth just makes me more anxious and stressed, so I turn to walk away from the illusion. I don't want to be taunted by a fake, but she appears right in front of me. We were supposed to get together for my parents' anniversary. You never showed up. What are you even doing here? Oh, knock it off. I'm trying to get back, but I'm sort of at rock bottom, and I'm trying to claw my way to somewhere. Aside from somehow starting a revolution, I have no idea what to do. I need help, but all the people I would turn to for advice aren't here. I have no one to turn to for help out here, and it's frustrating to say the least. Wow, you're usually the one that keeps it together. It's strange seeing you break down like this. Kind of a turn-off, she says, turning her head away from me. I don't have the support system I used to. Instead, I have people who are depending on me to come through for them, even though it seems impossible. Kodokan wants me to get them home to Earth. Kuiga wants me to lure her sister to her so she can kill her. I don't want to see her do that. Sin, you have a sister. How would you make up with her if she betrayed you in the worst way possible? She doesn't respond. Of course she doesn't. She's just created from the memories in my mind. She's not real, so why am I trying to talk to her? I step forward to swing my arm at this phantom to make it go away, but my hand hits her shoulder. She feels solid. If she ever wronged me, I would eventually get over it. We're family. We're from the same place. I'd hate the idea of living with hatred between us and removing her from my life. Even if she hurt you worse than you've ever been? Come on. You out of everyone should know I don't want to live with anger. I suppose others might be unable to get over things, but I just don't want to be wasting my life hating. You taught me that. There's no point in asking me. Everyone is different. I just stand there staring at her. She's so real, it's as if this is her. You're hurting me, she says bluntly without a hint of pain in her voice, which is so like her. I look and see that without realizing it, I put my hand on her shoulder, and my claws are digging into her, and her blood is running down her arm and my fingers. It feels warm. Sorry. No, you're not real, but I look at the blood on my hand. It feels real. It'll heal. Don't worry about it. Doesn't this remind you of when we met? She, or it says, still acting like the real Sin. Oh wow, it does! You were fighting with your boyfriend and pushed him out of the window of your apartment. I parked right outside and was going to cross the street to the store when he landed on my car as soon as I closed the door, and several pieces of broken glass stabbed into my shoulder. That's right. I used to have a temper, but after seeing how I hurt him, and then a stranger, I knew I had to change before I ended up killing someone. We both started laughing. Looking back, it's funny that I fell in love with a guy whose testimony put me in jail for 6 months, she says while smiling. I know, I say, also unable to hold back my smile. I couldn't lie, but at the same time, I did fall for you at first sight. Seeing your face so full of rage when you looked out the window, then turning to worry. You were so beautiful, and when I heard your voice in court, it was so soothing to listen to. We both calmed down and stopped laughing. When you were in prison, you wrote to me every week, I say to her. You wrote back every month, she says back. I didn't want to come off as too desperate. I was in disbelief that you were there waiting for me when I got out. My own family was fed up with me, but I couldn't blame them. You all made up eventually. Thanks to you. We just stared into each other's eyes, smiling, and for that brief moment, I felt like I was home. You look pretty weird now. You're going by Vayne? That's a lame name, she jokes in her monotone voice. You're one to talk about lame names. We both just chuckle since Sin's full name is really long and bogus. Do you remember my full name? She asks, thinking I don't. Your goofy name is Cynthiana Hollyana Trizendalian Rabingsley Stock. We both start laughing. It's been so long since I heard anyone say my full name. Everyone but my mom just calls me Cynthia. You were the first one to shorten it all the way to Sin because I was such a criminal when you met me. Honestly, I called you that because your hair made me think of cinnamon. We both start laughing again. My hair isn't even that color. I know, but it just made me think of it for some reason. We keep laughing even though Sin should have already known that, but I didn't want to stop. In fact, I have a good idea. Hey, do you remember my name? I'm only using Vayne because it replaced my name in my mind for some reason. My boyfriend's name. Of course I know it. It's... Her voice trails off and becomes silent as she says it. Of course she wouldn't know it. She's a figment that knows what I know. I guess I should tell you that since you've been gone for so long, I got back together with my ex. Her tone suddenly changed. Oh, please, that would never happen. This couldn't be any more fake. Just like me, he changed. The one she pushed out the window onto my car appears next to her. The two hold hands, and to my extreme disgust, they start to kiss. A sudden scream shatters the deathly silence. It's Kuiga. She's screaming in fear. She must be hallucinating as well. I want to go to her, but I'll just run the risk of her attacking me. If I keep my distance, maybe I can help guide her. Oh, I don't know where I am. What if I hallucinate seeing Kuiga and waste a lot of time getting lost? Regardless of the good points I just made to not help, I still find myself running to her. I have to get past this illusion in front of me, but Sin and that other guy mix together and turn into that creepy monster Hade. Ensuring your safe freightage was my mission. Did you think my coursing of you was not an option? Someday I will situate us closely and give Saiten repossession of you. I know he's not real, but for some reason I react like he is. Sin did feel solid before. This mist doesn't just make you see things, it messes with your mind, making you believe them to be real and feel real. I've never experienced this before. I turn and run away from Hade, but looking up, I now see Bapon is in front of me. You ruined my plans, my holy ambitions. I will make you pay today. You will see all of Mektra worshipping me. He swings his staff at me, and I duck under it and run to the left. While running, I see Pulator jump out from behind the trees. I quickly step on it and keep running. Images of those three and several Saiten soldiers appear and chase after me. All the villains I've come across that are now chasing me seem to vanish in an instant when I start to hear someone shouting. Zuiko! Zuiko! I look to my right to see a female criminal walking in the opposite direction. She has dark blue skin and light green hair. She's wearing knee-high boots and a black cloak with a hood over a pale yellow dress. I think it's called a sundress. She also has black covers on her forearms. She has a slit halfway up her cloak for her tail, and I notice near the base of her tail is a band with a black and orange triangle pattern on it. She stops and stares at me while I stare at her. A few moments pass before she goes back to shouting and walks off. She must be looking for someone. I don't think she's a hallucination since I've never seen her before. Maybe I saw her in a crowd once. Oh, she's already gone. I can't see or hear her anymore. Just like that, the mist takes shape once again, but this time into someone I've never seen before. They're a giant, towering 18 or more feet tall. His body is muscular and huge. The horrible smile from his lipless face is beyond creepy. His irises ripple in his eyes like water, and the sight of him drives me to the depths of fear I've never experienced. I shout and run, and I don't stop. And before I know it, I'm squeezing myself between two trees and forcing my way out of the forest. I can feel my head clearing as I fall on my hands and knees. Kuiga soon bursts out, using her ability to quickly grind down two trees. She's been scared horribly. Sweating, breathing hard, eyes wide, and her whole body is trembling. I give her a few moments to calm down. Sounds like it was just as good for you, too. It was fine, she says without turning to look at me. I hope we didn't get turned around and are right back where we started. No, we're on the other side. I made sure not to turn around. I made sure to grind down any trees that would force me to make a turn. Taking a closer look at Kuiga, I can see several spots on her arms and legs where her skin looks more blue than purple. Did she overuse her ability? In that case, let's rest here until we both fully get over what we went through. Part of me wants to ask her what she saw back there, but I decide not to. It would be prying. In the distance, I can see a rock wall on the left, a natural one, and the sounds of waves coming from the right. I walk over to it and Kuiga follows. Getting past the trees on our right side, we're now overlooking what I'm guessing is a vast ocean. Could just be a big lake for all I know. We both lean against the rock wall and slide down into a sitting position. So, what's with all those strands? Are those buildings? I ask as there are several large strands of water coming off the surface and stretching into the sky. Amongst those strands there are what look like ruins of small huts or houses, making that water seem like it's sticky. I have no idea, Kuiga responds, not sounding interested at all. I've never been to a mass of water this big. I've never left Loretta before either. I've heard Roprins live in homes off the ground. That might be what those are. But Quellios live in the water. Maybe those are theirs. Of course. What are those? I ask, not knowing what Roprins or Quellios are. Other races of Crivital. Huh? Well, what race are you? Drekion. We just sit there for a while in silence, marveling at the beautiful scenery, which seems to wash away our recent trauma. Just who was that large guy who appeared last? I've never seen anyone like that before. But then again, I've never seen anyone like that lady in the cloak before. Hey, did you see anyone in there wearing a black cloak? Nope. Oh. I saw someone in the forest. I don't think I've ever seen them before. Kuiga doesn't respond, and only continues to look out at the water and how the strands move with the waves as they pass under them. You know, on Earth, we have movies and TV shows. Do Crividals have anything like that? I ask as I've been curious about this. I've been in a few renegade towns. They pick up the signals that the cities broadcast to one another and air shows on the giant monitors they attach to the buildings. I've heard people call some of them movies. I was curious about if Crividals do entertainment like humans. I want to ask Kuiga about the things she wanted to do when she was younger but never got the chance, but since I know she only has one desire, I bet I already know the answer. Let's say you kill your sister and you end up feeling great. What would you do then? I have no idea, and I won't until that moment comes, if ever. I know you're just with me because you want me to draw her out, but still, I appreciate you being here. I don't care if it's for selfish reasons. It means a lot to not be alone in all this. Thanks, Kuiga. I turn to look at her, and she's staring at me with wide eyes. I wouldn't be here if you didn't free me, so thank yourself. She says coldly, only because she's not able to talk friendly, at least not yet. Either way, trust me, I'm going to keep my promise to help you. I say to her, and I think I made her feel uncomfortable as she then stands up and starts walking. I get up and follow her. I hope I didn't make her feel too uncomfortable. You need to stop saying that, Kuiga says quietly. Huh? What do you mean? You're never going to keep that promise. You can't! She turns and screams that in my face. I'm not sure what to say. No, I mean it. I'm going to do whatever I can to knock it off. You don't even know how I feel. You don't know how to help me, and you're not even a criminal. You couldn't possibly understand how I feel. Then talk to me. Help me understand. Her whole body twitches after I said that. I physically can't smile. I can't feel good about anything, and this hate for Riga won't leave. So what are you going to do about it? I'll find experts, get their opinions. Research? Uh-huh, yeah, right. You're going to do all that studying while running your little revolution. You're going to get your weird body destroyed for good in less than a month. I'm not sure about that, but she has a point. Can I really dedicate the time needed to figuring out how to fix Kuiga while overthrowing Saiten's leadership? I want to help you, is all I can think to say in this moment. I thought promising her that would make her feel better, and I'd figure it all out later. Here's some advice. Stop promising things you don't know how to deliver. Those slaves from Owacho, you made them all think they could be happy. But we both know that they're all dead by now, and you can't get this hate out of me. She's furious and keeps walking away, but then I get an idea. I run up behind her and hug her. What are you doing? Feel happy? What? No. You thought a hug would fix my emotions? From this point on, I'm going to try everything I can. Get off me, she shouts, but I already know what my next test should be. Feel happy now? I ask as I start trying to tickle her. How can someone not smile or laugh a little when tickled? Ah, get off me, Kuiga says, and with her arms and tail, she forces me off her before punching me in the face. She only looked enraged. Look, what I was trying to say is that you can't help me. Just let me try to kill Riga. That's all I want. Why can't you just accept that? Because, to me, family should mean something. Family is supposed to be people you know and trust and are always there to help each other. There's no reason to kill your sister if you can get over it. If that's how it is for humans, then that must be really nice. That's not how it works for us, so just stop. Have you ever tried? I ask her, having just realized something. What? Have you ever tried to forgive her or be happy? It seems like you just accepted things as they are and decided to be miserable. Tried? I never wanted to try. So, no matter what I do to help, you were never going to let it work? No, I was hoping you'd forget. Now I'm getting angry. Why would you want to be like this? What kind of sad weirdo are you? I shove her out of frustration. You don't know anything. Before I realize it, we're each trying to shove the other down. She hits me in the face, I punch her back, but we stop when the ground starts to rumble. We look around and see that we've moved away from the wall we were at before, and now in a vast open field with a few large sharp rocks jutting out of the ground 20 to 30 feet high at various angles. Something is coming this way. We can hear the sounds of the trees back in the forest snapping and breaking as something tears through them, heading towards us. From around the corner where we just were sitting comes a horrific-looking vehicle made of flesh and bone, with someone riding on it, and they look familiar. A few feet in front of us, and the rider jumps off, doing a flip over us and landing on his feet behind us. We finally caught up to you, the guy says, and I remember he tried to abduct me back when we were stopping Mashai from kidnapping that whole city. Remember me? Yeah, are you still trying to take me somewhere? I almost don't ask, as it sounds a little strange to say. I'm Tefano, and no, I got a new job, recording your death, he says as he pushes a button on that little device strapped to his head, obviously a camera. My death? So the person who hired you wants me dead now? No, I'm working for a new person. I gave you a chance to save yourself, but now we have to do this. Okay, Greta, do your thing. Greta? That's a human name. I look back at the fleshy vehicle to see that it's changing shape, transforming into something else. I start getting scared as Greta is becoming a mass of flesh with 4 large tendrils with mouths on the end of each one, filled with thin, sharp teeth. The mouths all come down at me from different directions. I dash back, avoiding them in time. I can see the white bands on my fingers turning red, and the redness starts to spread over me. It's getting easier to do that. I only want to get away from this situation. I don't know what this Greta creature is or what it can do. Why did they give it a human name? I turn to run and I see that Kuiga is already several feet away. Oh no, you're not going anywhere. We thought we already lost you once. Greta was so upset that she tore into your friends. Stefano says, taunting me, while a thin arm sprouts from Greta. The arm grabs Stefano and gently throws him so he lands in front of us, blocking our path, or at least mine as Kuiga runs past him. Greta's tendrils stab and dig into the ground around me, and it then lifts itself over me. I look up to see a mass of flesh having turned into some kind of giant blender, as several sharp teeth are spinning around in the orifice, now suspended above me. It comes straight down, and I move quickly to get out of the way. "You hurt Bodaga and the others just because you were upset?" I shout at this gross mass of flesh. "Just because of me? You didn't have to do that." Can this thing understand me? While running, one of Greta's tendrils slam into the right side of me. I go flying and crash against one of the large slanted rocks. I fall on the ground in pain, but I notice that instead of the rock crushing my body cracks it. I see that my body is still red. I'm doing a better job of keeping it on. 4 different thin tendrils stab into the rock behind me and pull the mass of flesh now shaped like a giant ball. The size of a van at me. It hits too quickly for me to avoid. I'm slammed through the rock, shattering it. I fall on the ground as the ball lands on me before growing spikes and rolling over me. The spikes aren't able to stab into me. Being red, my skin is too tough. I get on my hands and knees, and I have the strength to lift this mass of flesh on my back and throw it off. Greta turns into a wall of flesh, and spears of bone shoot out of it, trying to hit me. I'm able to avoid them. While I'm red, I'm able to move way faster than I could before. I turn, and that's when I notice at the end of the valley is a station that has cables and, what are they called? Cabins? Gondolas? The cabins are being carried down the cliff wall. There must be a city at the bottom. I start to hear the sounds of something slicing through the air. Looking back, I see Greta reaching out with 5 long appendages tipped with curved blades made of bone. I jump over the first one, duck under the second. I catch the third with both hands. I stop the fourth with my right foot, pinning it to the ground. The fifth one is about to cut through the center of my head. Kuiga just runs past me, and I catch the blade with my teeth. I thought Kuiga would help, but she didn't. Did I wreck any connection we had? I just couldn't accept she didn't try to change. I bite through the blade, and Greta pulls back, screeching in pain. We take this opportunity to keep running. "Greta, get it together! Don't let him get away!" I hear Stefano shout, followed by the sound of Greta roaring and then chasing after us. Looking over my shoulder, I see that Greta has sprouted 8 spider-like legs and is chasing us, while her body is a hairy lump with a hole in the front. From the hole, it spews several blue strands at us. We manage to avoid them as they stick to the ground. Greta pulls the strands, tearing the ground to pieces and lifting it right under our feet. I fling a stranded cork sticking it to the front of the cable car station and pull myself to it. I crash into the side of the station, breaking through the wall, and Kuiga runs in through the door next to the hole I made. Getting up, I'm in an open area with several monitors on the wall, and people are making a run down the hall to the platform where the gondolas are. Seems like we scared them. We follow the fleeing crowd, but this door won't open without a ticket. Kuiga quickly grinds through it. She doesn't look or say anything to me. Does she not like me anymore? Did she ever? It's hard to tell. I can see people boarding the cable car, gondola, whatever it's called, at the end of this hall, but the ceiling rips apart and spike-covered tendrils force their way in. I notice eyeballs growing on the sides of them. They start whipping about and reaching to attack me. Greta must be on top, enveloping the building. Monster-like hands are now forming at the end of the tendrils. They grab me, and the spikes lining the fingers stab into me. I respond by creating spikes of corkin from my body, forcing the hands off me. More hands keep coming in from every gap and crack that forms in the ceiling and walls, all reaching for me, all ignoring Kuiga. Kuiga shoves past the crowd, getting onto the gondola. I follow along, ignoring the complaints of the people. I slam the door behind me, and the gondola starts moving down the cable. I turn, looking out the windows to see a vast city at the bottom of this cliff. "Well, that was odd," I say, nervously joking. I'm just thankful that it's over and we got away. Kuiga, of course, doesn't laugh, nor does any of the 5 people who got on the gondola before us. Suddenly, we feel and hear something land on the roof. After a few seconds, a fur-covered monster hand breaks through one of the windows and pulls me onto the roof. I'm being held over the edge of the car by Greta, who now looks like a giant lump or barnacle, covering one half of the car's roof, with 4 of these fuzzy arms growing out of the side. Stefano is standing on the other side, recording me. "Come on, Greta, finish him off already!" The hand starts to crush me as it lowers me into this giant blender-looking mouth in the center of it. I create blades of corkin out of the sides of my body and move them quickly around me to cut the fingers off. I land on the roof of the car. Will you just stop resisting already? Stefano shouts at me. Does he expect someone to just give up and die horribly? I then notice the weight of Greta is causing the cable to sag, and the part of holding the car to it is starting to bend. I need to get Greta off this before it breaks and Kuiga and those people fall. I use corkin to make a large shield on both of my arms, and I ram myself against Greta, forcing her off the gondola. Greta starts to fall, but one of her long hands grabs me and pulls me off. On the way down, Greta's arm is pulling me towards her, while she's changing into some winged creature with a large open mouth. She pulls my legs into her mouth and bites down on them. She then tries to pull more of my body into her mouth. With 2 more bites, she almost gets all of me. I start punching her in the side of the head and work a leg free. I kick her in the face with my foot and pushed against her face until the rest of me is freed from her mouth. While falling, I create a long blade of corkin from my hand. I stab Greta and push her away from me. Greta crashes onto the edge of a building, hopefully putting an end to this. Wait, that was a building. That means... I suddenly strike the back of my head on something. I spin around, opening my eyes to see a long rectangular hole above me. I must have hit my head on the edge of it and fell in. I fall onto the railing of a suspended walkway. There's a ladder leading up to that hole. There's a ladder leading up to the hole I fell in. Leaning on the railing, I notice that my bands are still red, and before my strength can return to normal, I accidentally bend the metal I'm leaning on and fall off the walkway. While falling, I see that path leading to the other suspension platforms that have people that look like maintenance workers working on the wires and electrical boxes attached to the wall. As I fall, I see my surroundings turn into a vast, dark underground cavern. The only light was from that hole and the area where the workers were working. I've already fallen so far that I can't see anything around me. I fling out a strand of corkin, hoping to catch the edge of a wall, but I don't feel anything to the right or left of me. I suddenly slam against the cavern floor on my back, and it immediately shatters under me, and my fall continues. I'm now spinning around while falling. I'm so dizzy that I'm about to puke. I'm hearing something below me. It's the pieces of the floor I broke through. They're splashing into the water below me. Great, now I'll get to drown in a pit of darkness. Chapter End.